Released late in the life of the Atari Jaguar, Fight for Life represents the crowning technical accomplishment of the console, a fully 3D texture-mapped fighter. It didn't get much better than this until World Tour Racing came out, but that was for the Jaguar CD, and it was a racing game. Designed and programmed by Francois-Yves Bertrand, players take on the role of a fighter in a game that, at first, looks similar to Virtua Fighter Remix, with its polygonal, texture-mapped graphics but flat arenas and bitmap backgrounds. However, after winning a fight, the player is presented with a choice of special moves they can steal from their defeated opponent, thereby creating what can only be described as a custom fighter. Additionally, the engine powering Fight for Life, developed single-handedly by our francophone buddy Francois, is quite solid. The camera swoops in and out of the action while polygonal pugilists battle it out, and while this is super impressive at first, this also becomes Fight for Life's biggest issue. There is a degree of variation in the design of the characters that makes them fairly enjoyable to experiment with. And despite the ground being a flat plane, the rest of the graphics are sharp enough to make things visually interesting. What kills Fight for Life for me is that after a few fights, the AI gets so good at beating you, and the camera becomes such a burden that you can barely even touch your opponent, at least in my experience. You can get knocked down and your opponent circles strafes around you constantly. By the time you're back on your feet and you've lined them up again to take a shot, they've kept strafing or jumped backwards in and out of the camera, causing it to have what can only be described as an aneurysm. You think you're right on someone, and it turns out you're actually something like several feet away from them, batting the air like a kitten. Unsurprisingly, this causes Fight for Life to be unnecessarily difficult a lot of the time. If I can't tell where I even am in an arena with any certainty, how am I supposed to routinely beat an opponent? It's mind-baffling. When it works really well, and the camera zipping around is quite a lot of fun to look at. However, you need it to calm down and focus on a very challenging opponent, and this is made difficult. Like Kasumi Ninja, this would have been a great game to play against a human opponent, as you're just as hamstrung as them with the camera, and it's more fun than frustrating in that scenario. However, due to all the design limitations, it's difficult to recommend Fight for Life beyond a curious playthrough.